Welcome to episode 38. Today is February 16th, 2025. The intention for today's recording is very clear, very direct, and it's taken me a while to process it all to come through. Basically, we're going to tie together most of the recordings that I've done, emphasizing more. You have way more value and strength than you realize, right? And to increase awareness from your soul's point of view of what's happening in the world right now. The last recording I did was a private recording that can't be shared publicly. For those of you that missed it or wasn't aware, you can respond and just put in quotes, put listen in the comments, and I'll be glad to send you the recording, the replay. It gives a huge, it's like spirit in putting in neon lights, the emphasis of how special and valuable we really are. Not by earth standards, but by heavenly standards, okay? Now, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to move forward. I had to take notes. There is so much coming through so fast. And you know me, it takes me a minute to wrap my head around these concepts that's why it's taken me many days, because I've had to experience some of this firsthand before I can bring it to all y'all. I'm not a textbook person where I just teach based on words or concepts. There are things I've had to go through first so that I have experiential feeling before I bring it through to you. The first topic we're going to talk about is very new to me, meaning I was not raised with this belief. It's one that I have cultivated and chosen and proven for myself that it resonates for me, and it's about pre-birth planning. So this is my opinion. Those of you, if this doesn't resonate for you, feel free to just move on. Either fast forward or listen with half an ear, whatever. I'm not going to tell you how to do this, but it's not debatable as far as I'm concerned. It's a given now because it's not brand new, but I had to choose this belief set. This was not instilled in me from childhood. So I've been shown that the overriding goal of the soul is to develop and understand better ways to give and receive love. That's it. Very dragnet-like not a lot of emotion, just very cut to the chase data, right? Very, how do I say it? Yeah, just not a lot of fluff. Just very to the point. So the main reason to come to Earth from a soul standpoint is to experience contrast or not love, to have greater understanding different from the current environment when we're in spirit, right? So the underlying beliefs of our soul that need to be healed or corrected, the majority of us have this feeling of powerlessness or feeling unworthy or worthless. I've been shown, and with dealing with clients, those are the main areas that are addressed during the healing that I've been given, okay? The focus points in our lives will be up to 5 maximum qualities that our soul focuses on, right? I was raised calling them the fruits of the spirit, right? Many people can only handle 2 or 3 in a lifetime that our experiences utilize for us to learn from or to cultivate. So we're here to focus on developing agape love, right? That selfless, unconditional love, joy, peace, patience or long suffering, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, meekness, self-control or temperance, right? We learn by opposites in order to produce those qualities of the virtues that I just described. So to learn compassion, we experience situations and people that outwardly don't offer compassion so that we can learn self-compassion for ourselves. Then we turn it into compassion that will be of service to others so that we can empathize with others, right? So there again, that's our experiential feeling it with people, right? And then letting it go, being able to alchemize it so we don't hold on to those hurts and those traumas, right? So I've had to ask the question, why are we feeling so chaotic and turbulent right now? Because it's been escalating, and over the months we've talked about this, different seasons, different planetary lining, the different moons, the different, this isn't new, but it feels like it's over the top. And I was shown society is shifting from that separateness that we've experienced in the 3D, feeling separate and individual and every man for himself, right? And kind of a competitive dog-eat-dog, ego-based consciousness, right? I've always called it just 3D. Moving away from blame and shame and judgment, more into service and collaboration, where we're evolving and growing. This purification process will trigger our deepest, unhealed, unnoticed parts to surface. And that trigger isn't the cause. The buried wound is screaming to be noticed and healed, right? So it takes that trigger event to have the wound be surfacing and noticed, right? So that we can make a choice and heal it, right? So the healing modalities I've been gifted have been given to speed up that unblocking of traumatic energy in our cells. But I've been shown it's only if the choice is made with intention by the people. So this is where I've had to ask, just because I can help someone, I can, and many doctors, people in the health professions, they're given the same type of a question. Just because I can help someone get out of pain or help them, we ask ourselves, should I? Just because I can, should I? I determine that now more closely, so as not to undermine the soul's pre-birth plan. So I ask, has adequate learning taken place to eliminate the traumatic residue of memory or behavior, that's trapped in our cells? And these, I've talked about this, but these are deeper, more weighty questions that I haven't necessarily spent as much time asking. Each of these topics, I could go into so much more detail. Oh my gosh, the pre-birth plan, Oh, what I've learned about who's involved in that, we don't just come to earth and are born to our parents just on our own. It's a collaboration of many. Like we come here with maybe our whole family are in agreement in the roles that we're going to play for each other. Some that are going to be hurtful and hard, so that our soul will be able to experience exactly what we need during this lifetime, right? Another thing I was shown, and this is a big point, before being born, during that pre-birth planning session, it was a really high honor to be allowed to experience during these specific days and time periods. Remember when we've talked about being born for such a time as this, right? That everything is strategic. It was absolutely for now. I was shown that it's only been 1 in 3 souls that were ready and prepared with the correct qualities to lead others into this ascension process, into this new earth consciousness. It's really highly sought after. Now, keep in mind, this isn't like from an ego standpoint at all. It's not like a competition who's better, who's higher, right? It's even beyond analyzing. It's not for our ego to even go there, but from a place of understanding our value and to really know when we talk about being stronger than we realize, that we're fractals of God and whose spirit is in us. That's the premise that I'm standing on. That's where this value comes from, right? It's because of our preparedness. It's because of our heart attitude to be used to impact more people, right? So moving forward, I was shown that as Earth feels even more pressurized and overwhelming, like even greater turbulence on every front, there's a purpose from our souls for this. So on a linear basis, because this is where Earth is, it's all the timing is linear, and it's not like that elsewhere. So the time period to experience based on our pre-birth plan is collapsing. And we're running out of time, so to speak. So any areas that need to be addressed based on our Earth lesson plans, I like to put it in a context like being a substitute teacher, right? When the teacher's out, you've got these lesson plans to get taught before the regular teacher comes back so that everything's covered, right? That's how it feels right now. It feels like we're running out of time, even though we're not. Everything is strategic and we're never late. It's right on time. But in the natural, it feels that way. Everything is purpose driven, but it feels like it's condensed and it's collapsing in a shorter period of time. So stress and anxiety and everything is just cranked up, right? But keep in mind, this is something I've had to remind myself almost daily. And it's shocking to me because I love my life. I love different aspects of it, different relationships, different facets of it, right? And I know you guys are feeling this with me. This third dimension is what we're graduating from. We're being elevated to a higher dimension where there's more flow and peace and harmony and being of service to others instead of service mainly to ourselves. Be very careful, because there's huge distractions to keep us in forgetfulness longer, right? So remember to keep focused on what we're creating as part of the new earth as the divide between dimensions increases. Remember that walking the fine line is a bridge between these dimensions. We're still here in a physical body, but our spirit is collaborating and calling in experiences and relationships to solidify plans moving forward in higher dimensions. Does that make sense? And it's exciting. It's like I feel excitement when I'm planning our graduation from 3D, and we're moving as a collective. We're moving the consciousness up, and we're leaving that separateness, individuality behind, and we're focused forward. God, both of those are just the most exciting times. But just remember, as tempting as it is to be following all the blah, blah, blah and the step-by-step uncovering and disclosures of what we've been through with 3D, keep it in perspective. Remember, what we feed will grow. So stay focused on that we're moving out of that. We're moving into the higher dimensions, right? I hope this helps you. There's going to be other recordings where we will go into more depth on different topics, because I've just been shown so much and it can be overwhelming. Anyway, I hope this helps you. And those of you that want the replay of that non-public recording, I'm happy to share it with you if you comment, listen. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye.